Welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to be making 3D cake decorations with chocolate. Right, a little bit of a background to this. So one of our twins just passed his Jaguar Land Rover service technician apprenticeship, bought him a cake, we wanted to decorate that cake with symbols on there that sort of reflected his work as a service technician or a mechanic. So things like spanners, screwdrivers, that type of thing. Couldn't find any pieces in that shape made from chocolate to put on the top. So then looked at things like cake decorating, moulding clay, very expensive, and a lot of places it was out of stock, so I wouldn't have been able to buy some in time to do the cake. So did a little bit of experimenting on what I could use as a cake sort of moulding clay from items that we had already in the kitchen. Managed to do that, so this video really is based on that experience, how to make these 3D shapes from using homemade cake moulding clay. Okay, so the items we're going to need for this, I've got 200 grams of plain flour or all-purpose flour. We're obviously going to need some chocolate, some water. What we're basically going to make is a dough, so we need some water as well, some vegetable oil. To actually create the mould we need a container which is big enough to fit whatever we're going to mould around into there, and the piece to mould, so in this case a small adjustable spanner which has been placed into the dishwasher and cleaned thoroughly. So the first thing we want to do is to make a basic dough, almost like a bread dough but without the yeast. So I'm going to be putting in maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of oil, and that keeps the dough nice and soft and elastic. Just mix that in. And then start adding a little bit of water at a time until we end up with a nice firm dough which stays together nicely. Okay, so once we've got our dough, so this shouldn't be too tacky, but should be nice and firm. We need to get the dough as smooth as we possibly can without any lumps in it, and that way whatever we're moulding, the piece that we're moulding, a lot more of the detail will pass on to the actual dough itself in the mould. So just need this for maybe 5 minutes or so until you get a nice smooth elastic dough. Okay, so once we've got the dough nice and smooth, take our container and we want to push the dough into the container and try and get it into the corners as much as you possibly can. Wants to cover the whole surface area, and it might take a little bit of persuading. Get it as flat as you can and as smooth as you can on the top. Then take a little bit of this vegetable oil, not too much, enough, and just cover the top of the dough. This will stop the piece that we're going to be moulding from sticking. Then we take our piece, got to open this up a little bit, put that onto the dough and just push down evenly to about a centimetre below the top surface of the dough. If you're not happy with areas, just push the dough in or push it out. And we just want to make sure we've got a nice ridge around the entire piece. Okay, so once we're happy with that, we then need to obviously extract the piece from the dough. So I'm just going to get a couple of small skewers just to try and ease this out. Okay, so once we've got our piece out, we can then take a knife or a flat-sided object and just tidy up any bits of the dough mould that we're not happy with, just to straighten some of the sides up. If we've distorted it slightly, getting out the piece. Once you're happy with that, so that's what I've got. I'm going to take about half of this chocolate bar, so this is 150 grams, so I'm going to take about 75 grams into a microwavable bowl, break it up into pieces on full power in the microwave for 30 seconds, give it a stir, and then at 20-second intervals. Really important, if you're doing this melting chocolate in the microwave, you don't overheat it because it will crystallize. So 30 seconds first, and then every 20 seconds until it's melted. Okay, so that took 50 seconds in total to melt that chocolate. Pour it into our mould gently. Make sure there's no air bubbles in there. Right, so this is now going to go into the fridge for at least a couple of hours for this chocolate to set. Okay, so this is what we've got after it's been in the fridge. So now it's just a case of taking it out of the container. Okay. And we can reuse that again to do another mould. Now we just need to tidy up the edges with a sharp knife. So there you go, really simple cake decorations using items that you find in almost every kitchen in the country. You can also improve on this as well by using colours. So cake decoration colours, for this particular one you could cover it in silver. And obviously you don't have to just use tools, you could use My Little Pony figures, action figures, even toy cars, turning small toy cars upside down, pressing those into the dough, and then obviously casting the chocolate into that. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.